Hey everyone, it's Michael GoosebumpsFan. Today I'm going to be talking about the next episode on this DVD that I just talked about in my past video, the last video I uploaded. It was Things Like Goosebumps video. Of course, this one is as well. That one was for Grim Adventures, the Billy and Mandy, or Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Billy and Mandy's Jacked Up Halloween, which is one of the best Halloween things I've ever seen in my life. I still watch it every single year. But one of the things I watch immediately after that, every single year on the same DVD, this Cartoon Network Halloween Nine Creepy Capers is what it's called. Every single year, immediately after I finish the Jacked Up Halloween episode of Billy and Mandy, I watch the next thing on this, which is a Johnny Bravo episode. In this particular episode, of course, this is kind of the same Cartoon Network situation you had back in the day, where you'd have a 30-minute episode of a show, and it would have a couple of different segments, like 2 or 3 different segments. Billy and Mandy back in the day used to have Evil Con Carne in between it, so they'd have 3 different segments, 3 little short things within that 30-minute time frame. And this particular episode, the segment of this particular 30-minute section episode thing, is Bravo Dooby Doo. And you can guess from the title alone what it's about. Yes, Johnny Bravo had a crossover with Scooby-Doo and the Gang. And it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. It's very Halloween-y. It doesn't take place on Halloween, but it feels like Halloween. It actually premiered on July 21st, 1997. And I have been watching this episode every single year since I got this DVD, and probably even before that. You know, not every single year, but I was probably watching the episode even before that. Because I was born in '94, so I've been watching a lot of, like, Ed, Edd n Eddy, Johnny Bravo, all that stuff. And Johnny Bravo, hands down, one of the best cartoon characters of all time. I don't care if he's an Elvis impersonator. He's amazing. He's so funny. And to have him, of all people, join up with Scooby-Doo and the Gang is even more amazing. I love it. I think it is absolutely hilarious. I think this is such a great parody of what Scooby-Doo is at its heart and core. It's fantastic. If you like Scooby-Doo, you'll love this. If you love Johnny Bravo and Scooby-Doo, you'll love this. If you love just Johnny Bravo, you'll love this. And if you love animation, just good old-fashioned Looney Tunes style humor, you will love this. Bravo Dooby-Doo is absolutely amazing. It is so freaking funny. Again, it's very much a parody of what Scooby-Doo is, and I love it to death. Essentially, the story here, it's only a 10-minute long story, by the way. Very short. Half an episode, basically. 10 minutes long, and basically what it is Johnny Bravo was having trouble with his little vehicle he was driving. It breaks down on him on the side of the road in kind of a dark, creepy street where there's some trees and forestry and stuff. And he's trying to work on the car and he can't fix it because Johnny's kind of stupid. He's just always been like that in cartoons and stuff. That's what makes him so lovable. And the kind of Elvis impersonator accent and everything that he has makes him even more fun. He's just so funny and he's so silly. I just love the guy. And it's not because of just like nostalgia or anything like that. It's just he's genuinely funny. And the guy who does the voice for him as well is great. So essentially, all of a sudden while he's working on his car, a mystery machine pulls up and it's Shaggy and the Gang. And everybody's there. They have all of the original voice actors from Scooby-Doo Where Are You?, the original Scooby-Doo show. Everybody's there. I mean, everybody. Like, I'm going to name off all the people who are involved with this. Okay, so, of course, you have Jeff Bennett playing Johnny Bravo. You have Casey Kasem playing Shaggy, as always, until he passed away, basically. Haley Kay is playing Scooby-Doo. I don't know if this person played Scooby-Doo at any other point, but he's good. I like him. Then you have, IMDb acted weird for a second there. Heather North is playing Daphne again, which she always was back in the day. You have BJ Ward playing Velma, and you have Frank Welker in here playing Fred. And another cameo in the show at the very end that I like a whole lot too. Basically, Johnny was trying to get to his Aunt Jebediah, I think is her name. Trying to get to his Aunt Jebediah's house and just visit her, and they get there by, Shaggy and all of them giving Johnny Bravo an actual ride to the house, and apparently the house is haunted and it's spooky. And I love the music in this episode. I think everything about it's great, especially the one little song that's like a 70s song playing in here at one point when they do a Chase parody. Like, you always have the Chase compilations and Scooby-Doo all the time. They did a parody of that. It parodies Scooby-Doo so well, in such a great, fantastic, funny way. It would not surprise me if Seth MacFarlane, since he worked at Hanna-Barbera at this time, it would not surprise me if he was involved with this. Because I think he was involved with Johnny Bravo, specifically at some point. I think he wrote some episodes of Johnny Bravo as well. If you don't know who Seth MacFarlane is, he's the creator of Family Guy, American Dad, The Cleveland Show, all of those things. He's a big, big, big famous guy. Ted, all kinds of stuff. Love Seth MacFarlane. I absolutely love it. He's one of my favorite comedy writers of all time. I don't care if most people don't like his humor. I love it. I love 50 million, or what is it? A Million Ways to Die in the West. I'm like the only fan of that movie. It's not perfect, but it's good. I like it. I love Seth MacFarlane. I think he's funny, and I would not be surprised if he was involved with this. It doesn't say that he wrote it or anything. He's not the director of it or anything like that, but I would not be surprised if some of the humor in here was something that he suggested behind the scenes at some point, because it works, and it feels like a Family Guy type thing at some points. Everybody knows who grew up on Johnny Bravo and came back years later to watch episodes on DVD or on digital or anything like that. You know that Johnny Bravo is not always just a kid's show. There are moments, even though it was on Cartoon Network and it was very much meant for kids, there are some moments where there are some jokes that are for adults. And there's one in here involving Fred and Daphne that gets me every single time that I watch it. But kind of getting back to the story, though, when they show up to Aunt Jebediah's house, she's missing. Nobody knows what happened to her. But the gang, including Johnny Bravo himself, encounter this ghostly gardener, right? And the gardener is just this creepy, like, white-faced ghost thing. He's pushing around like a tool garden cart thing, like a wheelbarrow type thing, but it's like a homemade wooden one, kind of like they'd make back in like the 1800s or something. He's pushing that around with his tools and everything else and trying to go after them. And he has like yellow bib overalls and stuff, like yellow sun hat, all kinds of stuff. I like the design for him. I think he's kind of a classic-looking Scooby-Doo monster. I like it. And the way they have Johnny Bravo's animation style mixed in with those character animation styles for the character designs in general, it works. They didn't have to modify anybody. Everybody looks like they fit in the same world. It's not like a Jimmy Timmy Power Hour type thing where they had to like change one to the other. I love this. It was so much fun, and it's still fun. Even tonight when I watched it by myself in the dark at my house in October, it was incredible, and I love it, and I always stick around to watch it. Every time I watch the Billy and Mandy's Jacked Up Halloween, I have to be in the right mood to watch these, because they cheer me up when I'm in a bad mood. But just in general, like, you have to appreciate it. You have to spend every second watching the screen and not turn it away to eat some food or anything like that, because it deserves that appreciation that it has because of how well made and passionately made it is. Again, I appreciate all the Scooby-Doo parody stuff in here. It is so funny. It's genuinely down-to-earth, a fun kids crossover. It doesn't feel like some cringy MCU crossover type thing. This is back in the day when you had good crossovers, like some of those video games we used to get when we were kids for like the GameCube, like the GameCube and stuff, where you'd have like different Cartoon Network characters racing cars and stuff. Like, you don't have stuff like that anymore. Nobody puts out stuff like that anymore. Back in the day, Disney Channel used to put out video games for things like That's So Raven and Lizzie McGuire. You'd see the games advertised for Game Boy Advance and DS and all that stuff. Nobody does that anymore. And I hate that. It's such a lame, sucky situation that nobody puts out the stuff anymore. I guess because they don't think people would buy it. But it sucks that we're not in that era anymore. I miss the 90s and the early 2000s so desperately because of episodes like this. And because, just in general, Bravo Dooby Doo is such a fantastically written and funny and kind of eerie with the atmosphere and stuff, and the amazing score soundtrack thing that's going on here. It just works incredibly well. And I love like how they have like the Scooby-Doo music in here sometimes. They have that really cool chase music I talked about too that's very 70s kind of hippie stuff. It just works. I love it so much. I think everything about it's great. The finale of the episode is really fun too. It's just really good. I don't know how else to explain it to you. If you haven't seen Bravo Dooby Doo, you can either get this DVD and absolutely love it as much as I have all these years. Maybe it's on digital. I don't know about Johnny Bravo. I know Billy and Mandy is, but I don't know about Johnny Bravo, if that'll be on there. But it's definitely an episode based on the Johnny Bravo show. It's not a Scooby-Doo thing that came out of nowhere. It's on the Johnny Bravo show, so be trying to look out for that if you're trying to find this episode to watch. It is Season 1, Episode 3, apparently. Very good. I could not recommend it enough to you guys if you haven't seen it before. It's so much fun, and this just proves my point every time that I watch this DVD, every single year for Halloween time. Cartoon Network was so great, and they've fallen so far, man. They have nothing good on there anymore. And Nickelodeon's slowly starting to make its way back. Like, now you have the amazing Are You Afraid of the Dark show. You have the, what was the other thing they're doing? All That. I like the All That show, even though most people hate the reboot. I like it. I think it's not completely horrible. It's not the best, but it's not really horrible. I think the old show is amazing and perfect compared to this, but yeah. Bravo Dooby Doo, what do you guys think about it? Put your thoughts in comments down in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. If I had to rate this episode, whether it be on anything, the quality of the animation, or the coloring of the animation, or the music, or anything, whether it's faithful to both Johnny Bravo as a show and its humor and everything, or faithful to Scooby-Doo and it's part of the aspect of the crossover, it works in every way. It works for every single audience that could come to this and want to see it. If you're a kid, you're going to love this. If you're an adult who loves old Scooby-Doo stuff with all the old voice actors and everything, you're going to love this. If you're somebody my age that loves Johnny Bravo, you're going to love this. It's great. It's one of the best crossovers that have ever existed, and I'm still surprised that they do not play this on Cartoon Network to this day. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't play the Billy and Mandy Jacked Up Halloween episode on Cartoon Network anymore. They could have so many viewers coming in, whether old or new, that would love this and think it's absolutely hilarious, because it was really fun and just funny in general. If I had to rate this episode, Bravo Dooby Doo, on a 5-star basis, there's no question, it'd get a 5 out of 5. If I could go beyond that and rate this higher, I'd give it higher. It's just amazing, plain and simple. So, what are your thoughts? Have you checked this out before? Have you ever seen Johnny Bravo? If you haven't, I'd be surprised. This is the kind of show where they had even like Wendy's selling toys of him one day, back in the day. It was great. I love those times. I have so many good memories of my childhood from the 90s and stuff. But anyway, what are your thoughts on this episode if you have seen it? What did you like more, the Scooby-Doo aspect to it or the Johnny Bravo, or did you just like everything about it? I love it to death, and I could not recommend it enough to you. And if you happen to end up watching it, or the Billy and Mandy episode I talked about before this on my last video, if you happen to watch these based on my review for it, or my recommendation here about it, let me know down below what you thought about it. Did you love it as much as I thought that you would, that I talked about? What did you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching, guys. May the Lord Jesus Christ bless you guys today. And this is a really fun thing to watch around Halloween as well, too. Like, this is the month of October right now that I'm recording this and uploading it. So it works even well, I think. Or even more well, you know, for the time. It's very fun and has a cool atmosphere that's very Halloween-y. Like I said, very fall time. So it works. I really love it. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Put them down below. Thank you for watching. Happy Halloween, and may the Lord Jesus Christ bless you guys today, and goodbye.